Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Samin. It's been a long time. What can I say? It's like part of my permanent intro now that like it's been so long since I did my last video. Anyway, I wanted to come on and talk about something that made me go out of my way and make a video, I guess. So this is technically my 5th winter, I want to say, that I've been doing this. I want to do this video because I'm seeing it happen on a mass scale right now, and I'm talking about like people who were not like spiritually inclined. They're like going through it now, and I'm talking about shadow work. So I've noticed that a lot of people are, I don't want to say waking up, but they're getting a little bit agitated, and I feel that it's happening now during this winter because usually during winter is when like the veil kind of thins. We're all feeling a little bit like more introverted, more isolated, and I know isolation is a huge catalyst for that actually, when you become alone with your thoughts, really. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that. I know a lot of people are going through it, and like I mentioned, this is kind of like my 5th year going through it. Last year I kind of took a break because, I don't know, everything kind of worked out, but like what I wish I hadn't done my first 3 winters was asterisk, fine print, just so you know. I used to think it was seasonal affective disorder, and it totally still is, but you know, after implementing a lot of self-care and stuff, I think it's deeper than that. It's a little bit more than just seasonal affective disorder. So I wanted to come out, compile my own list of like self-care tips that I've made during like shadow work periods, and hopefully it'll help you out. Cause this, I promise you, like this time around has become so much easier than last time. So before we get started, I want to let you know that if you did want to check out some of my other stuff, feel free to check out my other videos that I have on my channel. I also have an Instagram if you do like art and creativity. I'm super into like makeup and spiritual makeup, or spiritually infused makeup. Here's kind of what it looks like. Totally on you if you want to join me there as well. I'd love to connect with you. Yeah, let's get started. So I want to start off by defining what shadow work is. One of my favorite quotes about shadow work is by Teal Swan. She said, even shadow work is light work. So basically what it is, it's when you don't really feel like you have control almost of like your inner self anymore, or like that inner peace. So it feels like you've been confronted with like a roadblock or just a bunch of negativity. I personally define it as like, it just feels like you're in a period of like trigger after trigger after trigger, so you don't have a choice to like outrun that shadow parts of yourself anymore. So now you're like face to face it. But it can be difficult because there's no one perfect way of doing it. You really have to like sit down and talk about your everything, really. Like, it's such, to me, I think shadow work is, it's very personal. It's a personal journey. So I don't know if I would come out with a video that says like how to navigate. Maybe I would, I don't know, but for me, I think it's just so personal. All I can really talk about are the different like things you could do to make the transition go a little bit smoother. So some of the mistakes I made when I first started doing shadow work was not having a third person perspective to it. And again, this was like before I got into like meditation and stuff, and before I recognized that there are different parts and dimensions of self, that I thought like this physical body that I'm like looking at in the like viewfinder right now, like, is it the one and only. So when you get that third person perspective on yourself, that way you have like one foot grounded in reality. You sort of have like an anchor into basically not getting lost. And that was a mistake because I got back into my triggers, into my pains, and I felt them all over again, and it was like Pandora's box of like trauma. And I just did that for like 3 years, and there was like no pause button, and I got caught in like this healing trap. I like just dug everything out and I tried to heal as much as I could. And yes, while I was birthed anew and had like new perspectives and stuff, like it was hard, it was very draining. So if I just known to like have sort of an anchor into reality and real life and hold on to that, that would have made my transition out of the shadow period a lot smoother. So what you can do with that is just maybe set a limit on however you're navigating your shadow work, whether it's journaling or meditating, whatever, tell yourself, I'm only going to do this for like max 3 hours this week or a night, or however you want it. Like, set a time limit on it. That way you put very clear borders and boundaries on how much energy you want to put into it and how to get back in touch with reality, or like this matrix that we need to function in. And then I'm just going to go through some of the simple, like very basic, simple housekeeping rules, and housekeeping meaning your body. So physical activity, that's fantastic in getting out any of like the dead energy, because once you come to terms with, I don't resonate with this anymore, or this isn't part of my identity, a great way of releasing that and letting it go is exercise. And you think that exercise would be something that would drain you, but no, it's actually the opposite. You're finding a way to get new energy into your body so that it doesn't really stay stagnant. So physical exercise really helps, especially cardio or anything that does with a lot of movement, rather than, I want to say, repetition or like even weightlifting, but like to each his own. I think cardio is best. Eating high vibrational foods. I know this isn't always an option, but what I love to do is just make a promise to myself that even if it's like one smoothie a week, even if it's one smoothie a day, it's so much easier to drink your greens and just throw in whatever you want in it. Whether it's like vitamins, turmeric, spices, adaptogens, probiotics, like whatever you want to throw in. It's just so much easier when it's like all in one drink or smoothie or whatever. Big fan of smoothies, and that's one way of like getting the most like bang for my buck, just having it in like one vessel. So eat your greens. So if you haven't already been doing this, highly recommend meditating as well, because I guess it depends like which level or like how into this you are, but personally I've found like connecting directly to my higher self has been tremendously helpful in like making this transition a lot more fast-paced. And not that it's about time or like, you know, speeding through it or anything, but I just noticed that I get way less lost in the sauce, because that way I'm connecting more to like, you know, the guide that is like helping me get through it. It just kind of helps me cut out the middleman, which is super helpful in saving time, energy as well. And like I mentioned, it helps you anchor yourself back into reality and kind of like set a limit or like a cap on how much is too much. So meditation has been tremendously helpful. Yoga is another bonus, but that would be sort of like another movement based type of activity. Another great tip is hydration. So we all know that we're made out of 75% water. So replenishing yourself consistently is important. I know it's so inconvenient to have to go pee all the time, but your body, your cells, your energy will thank you. What's even better is if you can set an intention with it, even if it's something as simple as, I just want to experience peace and foster kindness to myself while I'm consuming this healthy, hydrating beverage of water. Something as simple as that can go a long way. Setting that intention, because let's say this is all heebie-jeebie and all this stuff is real, your subconscious will know that it's real. And when you hydrate yourself and you take that moment to set a kind intention for yourself, you're listening back to it, and it's gonna send the signal that like you're taking care of yourself. So beyond just hydration, set an intention. I think it'll really help. And lastly, I would say to honor it, honor what you're doing, because this isn't easy. A lot of people run away from it and repress and hide from it. It's not the easiest thing, by all means. It's not physical work. Even the symptoms of it can be physical. It like on your energy draining, your muscles can start to ache. Honor the process, honor yourself. You must have patience with yourself. I'm an Aries. I know what it's like to be impatient. I don't like it, but this is like the single most kind thing you can do for yourself, is like give yourself a new life, give yourself new perspective, give yourself new ways of being. So honor the process, be kind to yourself, have self-compassion, patience for yourself and the process, and above all, forgiveness is very key. I'm not sure if the term is called Ho'oponopono, but it's, so I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of the meditation, so I'm just gonna write it down here. So yes, it's sort of like a forgiveness meditation. You can repeat it like a mantra or affirmations before you start your day. Very simple, it's easy to do, it's not difficult. I find something as simple as this can really help clear a lot of present energies and approaches that you might have to yourself. So the prayer goes like, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. This is what it helps doing. It's a process of letting go of toxic energies within you to allow the impact of divine thoughts, words, deeds, and actions. It's essentially about freedom, complete freedom from the past. And that's kind of what shadow work is. It's not only clearing what you're going through right now, but also any of the stuff that like you held on to the past. You're letting go of a lot of stuff. So it's incredibly clearing, helpful, and just getting rid of like any of that dead energy, and especially the ones that make you feel guilty about going through this process, thinking that you deserve better. So I know this prayer will really help as well. These are some of like the simple, most easy peasy things that I've found have been helpful in implementing into my shadow work and self-help and self-clearing routines and rituals. I would love to hear if you actually have some yourself. And again, my intention is to send this video out with a lot of love and compassion. I really want for people to know that you're not alone, you're not going through this by yourself. It seems like a very isolating experience, and it very well can be, but it also serves as a great way of reflecting, thinking what housekeeping rules you want to change within your own body, spirit, mind, etc. So if you have any other self-care tips that you found that have helped you navigate your shadow work, I would love to hear them down below. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to write them down below as well. I want to do the best that I can to help and answer them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope this helps, and 2020 and beyond may be rough, but we're gonna get through it together. We've got each other, we've got ourselves, and I know with like each other's strengths we can get through this. Thanks for watching, guys.